Coffee County Emergency Management Director. Wanted to go live this morning and give you an update on Hurricane Helene. As a lot of you have seen this morning, the hurricane has shifted more to the east, which puts us in a worse situation than what we had last night. The latest forecast is for it to pass the eye of the storm just to the left of us, which will put us on the worst side of the storm. And right now, the predictions for wind for our area are 58 to 73 miles per hour sustained, with gusts to hurricane strength. This storm is not a storm to take lightly. If you live in mobile homes or substandard housing, I urge you to seek safe shelter before dark this afternoon. We will have a shelter open at Central Square Complex, which is at 200 South Madison Avenue in Douglas. There'll be limited cots, so bring you some blankets. And if you plan to come, the shelter will not accept pets. Also, if you're on medication, make sure you bring plenty of medication. Otherwise, if you're not coming to the shelter, also have plenty of medication to get you through the first to next week. The biggest threat of this storm is going to be the wind. Expect extended power outages for several days from trees down. We also ask that you stay off the roads once the storm starts, and give us time and give first responders and public utilities, your linemen and electrical workers, time to get out, assess the situation, and clear the roads and get it where it's safe. The more traffic we got on the roads, the longer it's going to take us to get the power back on and get things back to normal. Also, it creates hazards for our workers. The first responders, when winds reach a sustained 35 miles per hour, we'll be tailoring back services. The EMS can't roll the ambulances at 35 miles per hour sustained winds. Fire trucks will be stopped. So the calls at that point will be life or death situation. We allow safety calls. We are still making an effort to go to those. Otherwise, the others will have to wait until the weather is safe enough for us, or winds subside. Once the winds start, National Weather Service is telling us we can expect about 10 to 12 hours duration. So once they start, it's going to be an extended period of time before they get back down to below tropical storm force winds. For those of you that are using generators or will be using generators if your power is out, make sure you're doing them in a safe manner. The generators can backfeed the power circuits and make it dangerous for our linemen if they're not wired in properly. It's best to have a transfer switch, and also you want those generators outside in a well-ventilated area. You don't want them inside the scrubs or in the garage or wherever where you might create carbon monoxide issues. At this time, we're going to recommend business closures this afternoon at 6 p.m. And from time to time, when we do request business closures, we get Walmart distributions open. Well, this time, Walmart distribution is closing at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Won't reopen until after daylight tomorrow. And also Walmart store here in Douglas is closing at 2 p.m. this afternoon. So can't use that as an excuse why you want your business to continue to stay open. Please consider your employees, their safety, their family's safety. Also, people who live in mobile homes and substandard housing, we urge you to seek more sturdy shelter. Mobile homes with these type winds, a lot of them's not, especially the older ones, are not designed to take the amount of wind that we're likely to see. A small shift, just 10 to 20 miles in the track of this storm, the eye of this storm, can actually cause our wind speeds to increase. So please keep monitoring it, keep a close eye on it. Follow the Coffee County Emergency Management Agency Facebook page, City of Douglas Facebook page, Douglas Now, and others for the latest updates. And also, I've got with me today Mayor Tony Paul with the City of Douglas and City Manager Charles Davis. And Mayor Jimmy Littleton from the City of Broxton, Mayor Timon Cross from the City of Nichols.
Just reiterate some of the stuff that Steve brought up. Unless something changes, this is going to be a significant wind event, probably one of the biggest wind events we've had in southern Georgia, maybe ever, but in recent history. We'll speak from a city standpoint. If y'all been used to reliable electrical power or immediately spin back up on power, if we get the sustained winds of 70 miles an hour, we're going to have a significant wind event and power outages maybe for days. So just bear with us. Our crews will not be rolling until sunlight in the morning. And because as Steve stated, at 35 miles an hour, we shut down operations. We will be responding public safety on smaller vehicles that can withstand the wind. But at some point, we will shut down most operations. Just be patient with us, civility, and understanding as we go through these events. This will be about a 12-hour wind event. So starting tonight around 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning will be the wind event. The eye of the storm will be sometimes between 12 and 2 a.m. in the morning. Depends on if the storm speeds up or slows down over the Gulf there. So this will be, again, another night event. As Steve stated, for people in low-lying area, people in weaker structures, people in older mobile homes, seek shelters with relatives. Our shelter will be opening up at 1 p.m. So for the first part of the shelter is just to get through the storm. If we do have power outages, it will become a recovery shelter for people to stay if they need it. Need to be there during the recovery time. And as we go over a couple of these other events here, like I said again, the eye will be over during dark, around 1 a.m. to 2 p.m. there. The wind speeds will be sustained between 45 and 70 miles an hour. That the current track, as Steve stated earlier, if it shifts a little bit to the east, it's going to be higher than that. If it shifts back to the west, it'll drop there. But one of the things, if it shifts east, it will exponentially speed up the wind speed. So just take this serious. Down trees will be our biggest thing, and so we asked y'all to call the EMA office here at 912-384-5440. If you call 911, they will be directed here. We will be focused on the main streets first, Ward Street, Baker Highway, Bowens Mill Perimeter, 441, 221, and then we'll be working our way inward to get to houses. Like I said, non-emergency related issues for the city or anybody else, call the 311 number. We will have call centers and other places taking calls and directing calls as necessary. At City Hall will be open today. Most of us will, the non-essentials may not be at City Hall tomorrow because if we're into a recovery operation, but 911 and 311 will be operational, and so we'll be calling on that. So, Coffee County always bands together during these times. We'd ask that, be neighborly, be civil, and bear with us as we recover if this event stays on course here. Mayor?
Well, basically, just to piggyback off of what Steve and Charlie's already said, God has really blessed us in the past that we've always been able to make the necessary arrangements just to make sure that we are prepared. As both of the guys have already said, it's going to be about a 12-hour event. The power outages, as Charlie said, we normally try to get the power back up with the city rather expeditiously. That's probably not going to happen. So you need to make sure that all your phones are charged, your backup chargers are charged, Make sure you may have some candles and some water and things like that. Also, with the power outages, I am not going to dispatch any of the utility workers until daylight, because we also have to be mindful of their safety too. So it's going to be a night event. We're going to have to go through the night. Well, I will not be dispatching any of our utility workers unless it's an absolute emergency. And you not having power is not going to be an absolute emergency. It has to be life-threatening. With the significant winds, there are probably going to be red lights or signal lights out. So we're probably going to be having police officers, firefighters, and whoever we can get up under those lights to help direct traffic. Which brings me to this point. You should not be outside. You should not be outside trying to go live, trying to get pictures, because all that does is slow up the recovery. If you get into some type of vehicle accident, you know, that takes away resources from the city of Douglas and the county are responding. So I'm asking you, please stay at home until we get the streets clear. And what we'll be doing is making sure that you treat all down power lines as live lines. Now, because of my daughter's Destiny and Kiara, make sure if you have outside pets, make sure you bring your pets inside, whether you bring them in the garage or somewhere. You know, we want to make sure that we protect our pets. The other thing is, excuse me, like we said earlier, is that the police, the fire, EMS, by they have these large vehicles with the sustained winds that we have, including our utility workers, normally at about 35 miles an hour, they actually can tip over. So we won't be dispatching those type of services if the winds are above 35 miles an hour. So basically, let me say this right here. We have been a praying community, and God has blessed us. Everybody that has been praying, continue to pray. We're going to need it this time if this model shifts just a little bit. But we've come through this before. We'll get the opportunity to band together as we've done in the past and keep all our citizens safe. As you see, I'm here as the mayor of the city of Douglas. We have Broxton, had Ambrose and Nichols here, making sure that we have a unified front to get to the citizens, that this is going to be a significant event. Keep praying, and we're going to get through it. Thank you for your time. God bless you.
And in closing, again, if you go to the shelter, cots are going to be limited. Please make sure you bring blankets, possibly a pillow if you need one. Also, be prepared if you stay at home for at least 48 to 72 hours without power, so be self-sufficient. And I know a lot of grocery stores, I was in one last night, and most of the bread was already gone. But get stuff that doesn't have to be non-perishable items, that doesn't have to be refrigerated. And again, if you're on medication, make sure you got enough to last till the first of the week. And because not sure of what roads will be blocked, and if trees have power lines in them, our crews can't move them until the power company deems them safe and non-energized. So just keep that in mind. And if you do choose to stay at home, hunker down. Once this storm starts, hunker down. Again, can't express enough. We need you to stay off the roads. As Charlie said, getting out, trying to get live video or trying to look at the damage just slows our response down and puts our crews at an unnecessary risk as well. So again, hunker down, be safe. God bless His community, and we ask that you pray and pray for His blessings on it once again. Thank y'all.